Okay, I think we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Crossing China's Red Line. So, what is Crossing China's Red Line? What are we all about? What is going on this channel? So, this is a weekly live stream where we uncover what the Chinese Communist Party doesn't want you to see. So, in China, the CCP maintains this iron grip on the media, and it ruthlessly censors anything that threatens its image. The party works really, really hard to present itself as this benign force, the only force that's capable of governing China. And they crush any dissent and they silence any critics at home and increasingly more and more abroad as well. But fortunately for us, they can't control everything, right? And despite their efforts, their best efforts, footage, stories, and voices continue to slip through the cracks. And that is where we come in. On this show, I'm hoping to expose the more darker side of the CCP, the side hidden behind this polished image of, the polished image that you constantly see on social media, like high-speed trains and gleaming cities with LED lights everywhere, and this so-called social harmony that they keep talking about. Behind all of that shiny veneer that they try to present to the whole world lies something far more sinister and disturbing. So, if you are ready to question the CCP's narrative and uncover the truth, then I think that you're going to be in the right place. And now it's time to cross China's red line. So, welcome to the stream, everybody. We have got an interesting episode one for you today. And I'm really, really pleased to be here today on this new channel. Hopefully, things are going to go smoothly, although my previous experience with live streams is telling me that this is not going to happen. So, anyway, let me find what we're looking at today because, yeah, it's a really interesting one. Here we go. Okay, let's get to it. So, for any of you guys who have been living under a rock, China just had a massive parade, and this is the parade that they're saying is to celebrate their victory over Japan in the Second World War. They call it Japan's war of aggression on China. So this is the headline from BBC News, and it says Trump's out, Xi's in. BBC correspondents react to China's military parade. So Trump's out and Xi Jinping is in. I don't think that Xi Jinping will ever be in. But yeah, anyway, we're going to look at what the BBC is saying here. So have a look at this. So this is part of the article, and it reads Chinese leader Xi Jinping, Russian President Vladimir Putin, and North Korean leader Kim Jong Un. So that's like the who's who of dictators in the world, stood publicly shoulder to shoulder for the first time on Wednesday, ahead of a massive military parade in central Beijing. That parade, which marked 80 years since China's victory over Japan in World War II. So I just want to talk about that quickly, okay? Because China did not defeat Japan in World War II. And in particular, the CCP did not defeat Japan in the Second World War. That is ridiculous to even suggest that they defeated Japan. Okay, it was Taiwan, what we know as Taiwan now, or the Republic of China back then, still called the Republic of China, but yeah, that's another story. But it was Taiwan that defeated Japan or held back Japan, fought off Japan, and really, really, sort of kept China free from Japan throughout most of China. And the Communist Party, the communists, they hid in the caves when they were fighting Japan. That was really quite ridiculous, actually. They hid in the caves, they bided their time, they waited for a weaker Republic of China so then they could take over the country and have that communist revolution. They took advantage of a weakened China, Republic of China. So, anyway, they did not defeat Japan. It's not a victory for the CCP to be celebrating. Anyway, we saw Beijing unveiling a range of new military hardware, including a new nuclear intercontinental ballistic missile, a new road-bound missile for delivering hypersonic weapons, a new laser weapon, and even robotic dog drones. Now, we've all seen China's pathetic robots, haven't we? So, yeah, I don't think that this is really going to be impressive. Robotic dog drones. It's probably just a copy of that Black Mirror episode. If any of you ever saw that one, it's really scary. So it comes at a time when Xi seeks to project Beijing's power on the international stage, not just as the world's second largest economy, but also as a counterweight to the United States as Trump's tariffs rock the global, and I can't see the rest of that because my thing is in the way, economic and political order. Okay, so there we have it. The parade. It must be really impressive, right? I'm sure it's going to be amazing, and everybody is just going to be really impressed. This is like the most impressive thing we're ever going to see. So let's have a look at their parade. I'm going to take me off of the screen for a second.
Hey, Vladdy baby. What's wrong? Why are you walking like you need to take a crap?
Genocidal dictators say cheese.
Hey, Kim, let's hold hands.
I ain't touching that shit. I saw where you put it last night.
Hey, Xi, pull my finger. Oops.
I stood at the urinal with Hu Jintao and I looked down. It was this big, I swear to God. That's why I had him disappeared.
Some of the veterans of the War of Resistance...
Clap louder, you little shits.
Their own viewing.
I could be bathing in a bath full of pork right now. But no, I have to come to this shitty parade again.
Here he is, the biggest douche of the universe. In all the galaxies, there's no bigger douche than you. You've reached the top, the pinnacle of douchedom. Good going, douche. Your dreams have come true.
开始。同志们辛苦了。是不？ 向
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm just going to play it again, but this time I'm going to watch it and explain some of the jokes because perhaps some people might be new here. They don't understand some of the stuff that was going on there. So let me just take this back a little bit, find where we begin. Okay. Here we go.
What's wrong? Why are you walking like you need to take a crap?
Okay, so Putin is definitely walking like he needs to take a big dump there. He walks kind of funny, doesn't he? Kind of like a little penguin. He is rather a short individual. I mean, I'm pretty short myself as well, but I feel like I'm taller than Putin.
Genocidal dictators say cheese.
Genocidal dictators say cheese. So I used some AI voice for some of these voices. it kind of does a good job.
Hey, Kim, let's hold hands.
I ain't touching that shit. I saw where you put it last night.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Hey, Xi, pull my finger. Oops.
It did look like he was taking a massive fart there, didn't it? All right, next one. This one's the one that I probably need to explain to some people.
I stood at the urinal with Hu Jintao and I looked down. It was this big, I swear to God. That's why I had him disappeared.
Okay, so, Xi Jinping was doing this action as if he was talking about the size of somebody's, well, you know what I mean. And I thought it would be funny to add in the old Hu Jintao reference. For you guys who don't know, Hu Jintao was the chairman of China before Xi Jinping took over, and he's a big rival of Xi Jinping. And actually, was it a year ago or even longer now? But yeah, Xi Jinping had him publicly disappeared in front of everybody, in front of the press. Hu Jintao was taken away, and yeah, I don't know. Did we ever see him again? Was he at this parade? I don't know. I didn't notice actually, but yeah, it is rather amusing. Okay, here we go. Let's move on.
Some of the veterans of the war of resistance.
Clap louder, you little shits.
Can you hear like that clap is kind of pathetic, right? These are like three of the big dictators of the world, and they barely get like a couple of people clapping for them. It's actually quite pathetic.
Their own viewing.
I could be bathing in a bath full of pork right now. But no, I have to come to this shitty parade again.
So,
Pork.
just look at his face there. How miserable does he look? This is not a happy man. I know that a lot of shit is going on with him at the moment, and him doing a parade in front of them, trying to act like he's the leader of the military right now is actually probably why he looks so miserable, because I know that a lot of them are actually plotting against him. So maybe that's why he's looking so miserable just there. He's like, "Oh my god, I used to have all of this in my hands, and now it's just slowly slipping away, and there's absolutely nothing I can do about it." That is the look of a defeated man, if ever I've seen one.
Right now. But no, I have to come to this shitty parade again.
Now this part I love.
Here he is, the biggest douche of the universe. In all the galaxies, there's no bigger douche than you. You've reached the top, the pinnacle of douchedom. Good going, douche. Your dreams have come true.
Biggest douchebag in the
开
universe.
始。同志们辛苦了。
Hongjaman Shinkula. Comrades, thank you for your hard work. Yeah, I know. Quite with these guys and their heads turning, like, what on earth could you do? Like, what the hell can you do with that? So I thought Xi Jinping's head blowing up, flying past them, is exactly what we needed. Okay, guys, so that was the parade. No, I'm kidding. That was not the parade. I wish that was the parade. It would have been a lot more fun, but no, that was not the parade. Instead, we got a very boring event. Obviously, it was CCP projecting their power, trying to show the rest of the world how amazing they are. And of course, we had a speech from Xi Jinping himself, the dictator of China, Mr. Xi Baozi, Mr. Winnie the Pooh made his big speech. So let's have a listen.
向全国参加过抗日战争的老战士、老同志
patriots
爱国人士
and officers who
和
fought in a
抗日
war
将
of
领
resistance against Japanese aggression.
So he wants to thank all of the patriots who fought in the war of aggression against Japan. And Zhu Heng Xiao, I did not write that. Actually, it's from an episode of South Park, which is just really funny. So yeah, he wants to thank the patriots who fought against Japan in the war of aggression, right?
向为中国人民抗日战争胜利
The Republic of China. So he's thanking Taiwan for the victory.
And to the Chinese nationals
做出
from home
重
and
大贡
abroad
献的
who made important
海内
contributions
外
And the Chinese nationals from home and abroad
to
中华
our
儿女
victory.
who made important contributions to the victory.
致以崇高敬意，向支援
God, he speaks slower than I do. Embarrassing.
I'd also like to express
和帮助
my
过
sincere
中
thanks
国人民
to
抵抗侵略的外国政
foreign
府
governments
和国
and
际友
friends
人，
that
表示
supported
衷
and
心
assisted
感
the
谢
Chinese people in resisting aggression.
向
So good for him. He's actually thanking the foreign powers who actually defeated the Japanese, right? It was a couple of nuclear bombs that actually made Japan surrender, not China fighting back. They were pretty much getting their asses handed to them, unfortunately. If it wasn't for Japan, like getting America involved, then I'm pretty sure China would be speaking Japanese right now.
参加今天大会的
I
各国
also
来
extend
宾
a warm welcome
表
to
示
our guests
热烈
from
欢
around
迎
the world who are with us today.
And listen to the clapping. That is not really a massive round of applause. I remember previous parades, the audience were much more lively. Something's going on.
同志们、朋友们，
Comrades and friends,
中国人民抗日战争
the Chinese people's
是
war
艰
of
苦卓
resistance
绝
against
的
Japanese aggression
伟大战
was the
争，
great war fought with tenacity
在中
and
国
valor
共产党倡导建立的
under the banner of the
抗日民族统一
National
战线
United
旗帜下
Front，against Japanese aggression
中
established
国人
Look at these dudes just standing there, man. Even Putin on the right there looks piss bored.
人
at
民
the
以铮
initiative
铮
of
铁
the
骨
Communist
But look, he's rubbing his eyes. He's like, wake up, Vladdy baby. Wake up. Come on, man. We've got Ukraine to continue bombing.
Party of
战
China,
强敌
the Chinese people
以
stood
血肉
up
之
to
躯
fight the formidable
筑长
enemy
城，
within iron view.
取得
Yes, indeed. He's so emotionless. Like he's just repeating what he was like being told or reading off of the teleprompter with no emotion. But this is how a dictator
And formed a
近代
great
以
war
来
with flesh and blood to
反抗
defend
外
the
敌
nation
入侵
and
的
ultimately achieved
第
the
一次
first complete
完全
victory
胜利。
in resisting foreign aggression in modern times.
中国人民抗日战争
The Chinese
是
people's
世
war
界
of
反
resistance
法
against
西
the
斯战
Japanese
争
aggression
的
was
重
an
要组
important
成
part
部
of the
分。
world anti-fascist war.
中国
The world anti-fascist.
人民以巨大的
With
民
huge
族
national
牺牲，
sacrifice, the Chinese people
为拯救
made
人类文
major
明，
contributions
保
to
卫
saving
世界
human
和平，
civilization and
Yeah, the Republic of China did that, not the People's Republic of China.
做出
safeguarding
了
world
重大
peace.
贡献。中华民族伟大复兴势
The
不可
great
挡，
rejuvenation of the Chinese
人
nation
类
is
和平与发展的
irresistible.
崇高
The
事
noble
业
cause of peace
必
and
将胜利。
development of humanity will prevail.
Wow, what a speech. And look, he's not really getting a massive applause again. And that was the end of his speech. Okay, so you've probably read a lot of reports about this already or seen it in the news. I even overheard, so I was at a railway station yesterday and I even overheard some people just some normal folk on the platform waiting for the train, and they were like, "Whoa, did you see China's parade yesterday? It was amazing." And oh man, we really had better look out because this is the new world order with Putin, Xi, and Kim Jong Un. They were just like so impressed by what they saw. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think that the way that the parade was choreographed, yeah, it's impressive. It looks good. It does look good, and it does have that impact on people when they see it. They're like, "Whoa, this is quite a formidable country with their military and their air force and their soldiers. They're really well choreographed and really disciplined and that kind of thing." But to be honest with you, this is what you see from every parade from a dictator's government, or even just any parade in general. You will see that the country is trying to project their power onto the rest of the world. That is what it is. It's a massive show for everybody to see. And this one is no exception. This is exactly what it is. And yeah, I'm going to look at some more important points in a minute. So let's just look at some of the amazing military tech that was on display. And you're going to be very impressed with this. And I'm pretty sure that some other people are going to show up and be very impressed as well.
Whoa, yeah!
Whoa, 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 hold on.
Okay. So really impressive stuff. Keanu was super impressed with that, the king of whoa. So my biggest problem with all of this on display is that it is just for show. It's a load of bollocks. And how do we know? Seriously, like, how do we know that any of this stuff that they're showing on display actually works, right? Because China has a track record of this, of military things not working, weapons being a little bit, let's just say, a little bit defunct and not working properly. So, for example, there was this story last year, I think it was last year, where China had missiles filled with water. Here's the headline: Breathe easier, Taiwan. China's corrupt rocket forces are fueling missiles with water. So the People's Liberation Army Rocket Force, or as we know them by the acronym, the PLAF, the PLAF, the good old PLAF. You're having a PLAF, aren't you? Are a corrupt as hell, filling rockets with water. With water, no rocket fuel in these things. So specifically, the rocket force, they had missiles that were filled with water instead of fuel, and this has been described by a lot of journalists as an example of the deep corruption, alongside reports of missile silo lids that wouldn't function properly. So this is just shows you how corrupt the military actually is. So I'm wondering how many of those rockets and warheads that we saw there actually work. And that's a good question. Articles like this, journalism like this raises questions. And that's exactly the sort of thing that China doesn't want you to see, which is why we're covering it on Crossing China's Red Line, right? The next story. that I wanted to just show you, just to show you how corrupt and just how inept China's military actually is. And this comes from China's navy. Do you remember this story when one of China's brand spanking new nuclear submarines sank in its dock? So this happened in May, around May and June of 2024. There was China's first of class Zhou class nuclear powered attack submarine. It reportedly sank while docked at the Wuchang shipyard near Wuhan. Wuhan is a very unlucky place for China, right? It was the place where the COVID virus came from. So this submarine was still under construction and it literally sank. Now, I know submarines are supposed to submerge under the water, they're supposed to sink, but usually they're also supposed to come back up. This one didn't come back up, and there's a satellite image of it. You can see just here it is sunk under the water. It's this was extremely embarrassing for the CCP, and yeah, I can see why. I mean, Jesus Christ, right? So brings me back to the main question of the parade. How do we know any of this actually works? And that it's a good question, right? We don't. And from previous experience living in China, I know that, and watching a lot of videos of tofu dregs and all of that kind of thing, poorly planned infrastructure. We know that China quite often takes the easy option when building things. Quite often skips a lot of the important steps, and the result is you've got buildings falling down, you've got infrastructure crumbling, and you've got submarines sinking. So what I'm trying to say is, how do we know that any of this stuff on display works? And it's a very, very important question. And I guess the only way that we would ever find out is if China uses them in a conflict. So, yeah, I am not sure that any of that stuff that they're showing us works. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. And we just have one last clip from the parade.
The president then says, "Comrades, thank you for..."
Lifeless eyes, black eyes like a doll's eyes.
Emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
Okay. So moving on, I just wanted to give you guys a CCP mega embassy update. So for those of you who don't know, China wants to build a new embassy in London. It's going to be a really huge embassy. They already have an embassy in London, by the way, but for some reason they want to build this massive new embassy. And there's been a lot of concerns that they could use this as a spy base or as an area to detain dissidents. There are a lot of Chinese dissidents living in the UK, a lot of Hong Kongers. It's a massive concern that they could use this to even potentially detain dissidents, because the embassy would actually be Chinese territory and they would be able to do whatever they want. There was that incident outside the Manchester Chinese consulate where they tried to drag in a Hong Kong protester by his hair. They tried to drag him in because they were trying to essentially drag him into China's territory, and then they could do whatever the hell they want to him. Luckily, police were there. They dragged him out. So there's a massive, massive uproar against this mega embassy. A lot of people, the local residents, don't want it. Planning application for it has already been denied twice by the local council, but the Labour government that we have in power right now in the UK want to push it through. They want this to get built because they want to have a good relationship with China, with the CCP. They want to have a good trade deal and that kind of thing. So they're trying their best to push it through. But there's been a large backlash from the local council, the local residents, and of course myself and a bunch of Hong Kongers and other people who oppose the CCP, like Tibetans, Uyghurs, people from Taiwan. A lot of people have come together. There's been about 6 or 7 protests against this thing already. The British government hasn't really taken notice of it. I think that there's a lot of other problems in the UK that people are worried about. So the mega embassy is in the back of a lot of people's minds. I think it's a really important thing. I think we don't want to be giving up our we don't want to we really do not want to give up our national security to a aggressive and disturbing government like the CCP. I think it's a horrible thing. So anyway, the update I've got is that the decision to grant the CCP planning permission for their mega embassy in London has been delayed. Thank God. So Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner was supposed to make a decision on the 9th of December, but she's actually pushed it back to the 21st of October. So that will be next month. So we've got another month to worry about this thing, you know. I have made countless videos about this. I'm sure you guys are fed up of the mega embassy right now. And it feels like they keep pushing it back, delaying it. It feels like it's a deliberate action from some of them. Are they trying to like deliberately do this to make us all forget about this mega embassy or something? I don't know. It just seems a little bit sus. So obviously the people don't want it, right? There's been massive protests, residents complaining, even the police have complained about the security of the area. It's been rejected by the local council, as I've always said. So why the hell are they still even considering this thing? Why do they keep pushing it back? Why don't they just say, China, no, you're not allowed to have that mega embassy. Screw it, you've already got an embassy, and let's give Taiwan an embassy as well, right? So the reason it's being pushed back is because actually China are refusing to say what these two rooms on this. Can you see this diagram that I've got up? What these two rooms that have been redacted on this plan are being used for. They say that it's a cultural exchange building and embassy house, but it's being grayed out on the plans. So why are they doing that? So Angela Rayner, the deputy PM, wrote to the planning consultancy in charge of the proposal, asking them to identify precisely and comprehensively the drawings that have been redacted and justify why they have been redacted. The consultancy responded saying it was neither necessary or appropriate to provide full layout plans. The applicant considers the level of detail shown on the unredacted plans is sufficient to identify the main uses. What the hell? So it's unnecessary to tell them why they have these grayed out rooms on the plans? That is ridiculous. That is the ridiculous. Honestly, at this point, I think that they should just label it. This is a spy room. This is a torture chamber. And I think this thing will still get pushed through by the British government. They're literally just taking the piss now. They really are. Why are they being so secretive? I'm pretty sure that if the UK wanted a new embassy in China and they grayed out rooms on the planning application, China would just say, F you, you're not having this embassy. Why are we always so polite and nice to them? Saying, oh, you just need to tell us. You need to tell us. They definitely have the upper hand in this little game that they're playing. Ah, man. So the funny thing is, the Chinese embassy in the UK, not this embassy, not the mega embassy, their actual embassy, they've called on the British government to fulfill its obligation and approve the planning application without delay. What obligation are they talking about? Ah, man. Okay. It said in a statement, the planning and design of the new Chinese embassy project is of high quality, which has been well recognized by various professional bodies. The planning application has followed the customary diplomatic practices. What? By not telling us what you're using these rooms for, as well as necessary protocol and procedures. In our reply to the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government, we have provided a comprehensive response to the questions concerning the planning application. Have you? Well, let's hear it then. It is an international obligation of the host country to provide support and facilitation for the construction of diplomatic premises, which you already have. Both China and the UK plan to build new embassies in each other's capitals. Well, that's a first. I didn't know that the UK wanted to build an embassy in China. The Chinese side urges the UK side to fulfill its obligation and approve the planning application without delay. So, I think that we shouldn't approve it, and I think we should tell them to get stuffed. And that's interesting that the UK wants to build a new embassy in Beijing. I wonder what would happen, like I said earlier, if the UK gave them a planning application, gave them the plans, and there were several rooms grayed out. Do you think that China would stand for that? So why are we standing for it? So the 21st of October is when they're going to make a decision on this thing. And I assume there will be another protest. And I'll keep you guys all updated if there is going to be one, because of course I will be there 100%. So yeah. Wow. That is insane. Okay, anyway, moving on. Sorry about my mega embassy rant. I know that it is probably something that you guys must be getting fed up with if you've been watching my Free China channel. All right. So, we have a transformer sighting in China. Check it out.
Robots, transform and roll out.
That was amazing. We have to see that again. I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. We have to see this again as well, apparently. And this. Okay, so let's watch that again.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
What the hell happened there? Is that a truck on top of a truck? Is this video even real? Who knows? This could even be an AI video for all I know. I don't know, but it looks pretty messed up to me, whatever it is. Okay, now this one, man, this cracked me up. This is like tofu dreg, just crazy stunt video goes terribly wrong because of China's lousy infrastructure. Just watch. Wow. Now that is a really well built bridge there. Here is the aftermath. So China's
oh my god.
Yeah, China's amazing infrastructure. Like, the bridge doesn't even look that old, does it? Look at this one more time. I guess we're gonna see that again. So yeah. Wow. This is China.
Oh my god.
This is the country that's just shown you this amazing military parade with state-of-the-art technology, and yet a bridge just collapses like that when 5 men dive off of it. Just completely crumbles to pieces. Okay, this is another fine example of the broken vase scam, the puncture. Okay, so what happens is it's an insurance claim scam where people will pretend to be injured so they can claim off of somebody. And usually what they do is they pretend that you've injured them in a car accident. It's usually a car accident. They'll pretend like if you're driving slowly or you're driving out of a car park or something, they'll throw themselves in front of your vehicle, even though you're not going fast, you wouldn't possibly be able to injure them. And then they feign an injury and they wait until the authorities get involved and then they scam money off of you. It happens all the time, but this one is one of the most epic fails I have ever seen. Watch this. Oh my god. Jesus Christ, like that is ridiculous. She doesn't even hit anything. She just throws herself on the floor. Let's watch that again. Look. Oh dear. Oh dear. And is that really gonna, is she gonna be able to get anything for that? It's clearly on video what she's doing. Luckily, there was somebody there to film that, to be honest with you, because I feel like she might have been able to have gotten away with that if it wasn't on film. Like, what are they doing? And this kind of shows you how desperate some people are in China. It's a country with very little social programs, no universal health care, nothing really that's gonna like I said, no social programs that are gonna help the people when they're downtrodden. So this woman feels like she has absolutely no option but to go out and pretend to get ran over by a car and just throw herself on the floor on the middle of a pedestrian crossing like that. This is the only option that she has, that because she's so desperate. That is crazy to me to see that. And again, this is a country that's projecting that it's one of the most high-tech countries in the world, showing off all of these robots and technology and this massive parade with all of this like amazing military high-tech stuff on display. And then you get this, you contrast it with this, and things don't really add up. You start to see the real China. And when you live there, you see things like this all the time. I lived in China for 7 years, and seeing stuff like this was just a common sight. Seeing poor people all over the place, construction workers having to sleep outside on the floor, on their lunch break, they just go to the park and fall asleep. There'd be homeless people all over the place. Poor people go to rural China. You will see that they live in abject poverty. No toilets in their house. It's like a hole in the floor outside. No running hot water. It's insane. And this is a country that people are supposed to be looking up to. I don't think so. This woman is very stupid, by the way. But I feel sorry for her because this is literally her only option. Okay. Yes, this one. Yeah, this one. Okay. This is like the mad rush to get on a train in China. You know when a train terminates at a stop and everybody gets off. The train sits there for a while. It's not scheduled to leave for a couple of minutes. The doors are closed, and then there's people waiting. Then all of a sudden, the doors open. This is what happens in China, and I've experienced this myself several times. I've seen it a lot of times. Like a game of musical chairs. That running
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Yeah, that is crazy. That is crazy. I want to watch that one more time. I'm getting like flashbacks of living in China, having to get on a train and having to deal with that. I wouldn't even bother. I would just wait and just get on last and just stand up. I'd rather stand up than have to deal with that.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Why are people doing that? I guess because they're selfish and they just want to get a seat, you know? I quite often saw old people standing up and young people not even offering them a seat. But then again, I do see that in other places as well. I've seen it here in the UK, but usually someone will say to them, stand the fuck up and let that guy sit down, you know? Anyway, that is just what it is in China. It's survival of the fittest. It's every man for himself, and that is what happens in that kind of society. Just getting on a train, it's like a battle to see who gets the seat first, and it's absolutely insane. Anyways, let me look at this. All right, this one. I'm calling this guy Projection Man. So this happened on the 29th of August in Chongqing, China. There was a huge anti-CCP slogan which was projected on a building demanding for the CCP to step down. So if you want to die in China, if you want your life to end, this is what you do. You put a projection up on a building with anti-government slogans, and it's just going to be game over for you. I think this person, whoever did this person is extremely brave, and yeah, I think that it's game over for them. So the first one, it says, "Rise up, people who don't want to be enslaved. Rise up to take back your rights." I think that's a callback to China's national anthem. Next one. Can we get to the next one, please? There we go. So it says, "New China only without the CCP. Freedom is not granted, but to fight for." Wow. This person has a death wish. Whoever did this, they have a death wish. Let's see the next one. "No lies but truth. No enslave but freedom. Tyranny, CCP to step down." Okay, take down red fascism, take down the CCP tyranny. Wow. This guy has a death wish. Like, seriously, this guy has a death wish. I heard that there's also, I saw a video of, I haven't included it in this live stream, but there was a video of police actually going into the hotel, and apparently they found a letter from the man as well. Now, I'm not sure how true any of that is. I need to recheck the sources for that one. So I haven't included it in the stream, but I know that this one did happen. And that this one has been reported quite widely, actually. And yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So somebody in the chat, let me see. The man who wrote it is now in the UK with his family. Really? I had no idea about that. Where did you hear that? That's interesting. Maybe I could get him, go and talk to him, give him an interview or something. I think that would be pretty cool, actually. Um, so he fled to the UK. Okay, I'll look into that because I might be able to meet up with him and find out his motive. Well, obviously we know his motive, but I'd like to know his story. That would be rather interesting. Yeah, he definitely has a death wish doing that, you know. It's all good and it's all well and fine me talking about the CCP from the comfort of my home here in the UK, but actually having the balls to do that, like that is ballsy. Like I admire this guy for even like trying, you know. So yeah, what a guy. Okay, the last thing that I want to look at today on today's stream is this. I keep getting this bullshit stuff on Instagram because I look at China related things. So my algorithm is tuned to that on Instagram. And I just keep getting posts like this, just absolute bullshit propaganda. So it says, from today, every kid in China is required to learn AI in school, starting from age 6. This is absolute BS if ever I've seen it. This is just, oh my God, it really just annoys me. Do you think that every student age 6 in China is going to be learning AI? That's an honest question. Do you really think that? I don't think so, because I've seen what some of the schools are like in China, and I know that they're not equipped to deal with this, okay? This is obviously just something that's happening in a couple of select schools in Beijing, Guangzhou, one of those top tier cities, they're probably going to do this. And they're making out that every child in China is starting to learn AI from the age of 6, and they have to do it compulsory. It's mandatory. This is just absolute bollocks. Look at this. If it plays. Okay, have a look at this school. The hell? Okay, here we go. Do you think that these students in this school are going to be learning about AI? Do you think this school is equipped to deal with students to learn about AI? Look at this. Look at how they're eating and what they're playing with. I don't think so, right? And that was a rural school in China, somewhere in one of the poorer parts, which I talk about quite a lot. Look, these kids are not going to be learning AI in the classroom. Yeah, it's compulsory for all students. This is ridiculous. And I see this kind of propaganda every single day, and it is just that. It's propaganda from the CCP. They want everybody to think that they're doing an amazing job. Well, here on Crossing China's Red Line, we show the reality, we show the real side of the CCP, and this is just something that they cannot hide. It really annoys the hell out of me to see people falling for this propaganda. From this post here, there's so many comments saying, "Whoa, China based. China's got it made. China's got the right idea. We're far behind in the West." Obviously, a lot of it are bot accounts, paid for by the CCP. But doesn't it just piss you off that there are some people falling for this? That's why we're here. We're here to show you the reality. And these kids, they're not going to be learning AI.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you guys so much for joining me here today on Crossing China's Red Line. Episode 1, I think it went pretty well. I'm pretty happy with that. That's one episode in the bag. We're going to see how this channel does. I'm going to give it like a good 6 months. Keep doing it every single week. See how it goes. If it improves, we'll keep it up. We'll just do a review after half a year or so. Just see how it goes, really. Hopefully it will go fine. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining me. And yeah, you cannot send super chats because this channel is not monetized. I'm doing this for absolutely free of charge. But yeah, if you guys did ever want to make a donation, you can find the links on my Free China channel, where I will have some links for you to send me PayPal, or you can join Patreon and that kind of thing. But yeah, I think episode one went pretty well. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy that? I think it was all right. There's obviously a lot to work on. I still don't have any cool intro or outro for this channel. I don't have any cool graphics or anything like that. I'm going to work on that probably next week, try and get a new intro. I need to make a new channel banner and a little logo and that kind of thing. I don't have any of that yet. This is all fresh, brand spanking new. So you guys who have joined me for today, you're the first to be on this channel and be in the chat. You've made history. But yeah, it's cool, guys. I really appreciate you for joining me today. I know we haven't had a huge audience, but this is exactly what I expected. And yeah, we're at 299 subscribers. So yeah, that's one away from 300, which is pretty good for a channel that doesn't have any videos. This is the first thing that I've done on here. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a look at the chat now. So if you have anything to say, now is the time to do it. Okay, Ju Hung Shao, a regular viewer from Free China, is over here on Crossing China's Red Line. Thank you so much. And Ju Hung says, learn how to use AI will not make CCP more successful. By the time these kids grow up, they are all messed up. Yeah, that's a good point. But also, using AI now, by the time they grow up, it will be out of date anyway. So it probably won't be any use to have a 6-year-old learn about AI. It's kind of useless, right? That's the sort of thing that you would do once you gain an interest in it at college, and then you do something at college which can lead to a good job in that area. But starting when you're 6, anyway, they're not starting when they're 6. It's a couple of schools that are doing it in Beijing, and they're just pretending like it's going to be a nationwide rollout, but they don't have the facilities or the capacity to do such a thing. It's ridiculous. Okay. Never believe a word of CCP. I don't. Okay, thank you, Lewis. You are welcome, Mike. Thank you for joining today. No super chat this time. I think I tried also. Yeah, we don't have that option on here, I'm afraid. But in the future, when the channel does get monetized, because I'm confident that we can get this channel monetized, then you'll have that option if you want to. Yay! Thanks. You're welcome. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you like the parade bit. I worked pretty hard to make that. Should we watch it again? Let's watch it again because it was fun, wasn't it? Let me take this back. Here we go.
What's wrong? Why are you walking like you need to take a crap?
Genocidal dictators say cheese.
Hey, Kim, let's hold hands.
I ain't touching that shit. I saw where you put it last night.
Hey, Xi, pull my finger.
Oops! I stood at the urinal with Hu Jintao and I looked down. It was this big, I swear to God. That's why I had him disappeared.
Some of the veterans of the war of resistance.
Clap louder, you little shits.
Their own viewing.
I could be bathing in a bath full of pork right now. But no, I have to come to this shitty parade again.
This is my favorite bit.
Here he is, the biggest douche of the universe. In all the galaxies, there's no bigger douche than you. You've reached the top, the pinnacle of douchedom. Good going, douche. Your dreams have come true.
开始。同志们辛苦了。
Yeah, that's a good one. Oh, we've got Mao Xinyu in the house. Mao Zedong's grandson. Thanks, Lewis, for doing this for us. You're welcome, Joe. Thank you for joining today. I appreciate you for coming in. Bogan Pride, great live stream. Thank you, Bogan, old school subscriber from the YGZ channel. Much appreciated for you joining today, mate. Thank you so much. Let's see. Oh, Headley is late. You're late as usual, Headley. Good stream. I'll say bye, gang. Mike Lewis. Yes, I've been here all along making notes, taking names. I was supposed to be somewhere else at 6 p.m. Yeah, mate. Thank you for joining. Even though you were silent in the background, your view is much appreciated, my man. Thank you so much. Let me see. Shirt in every episode now. Yeah, I'm gonna try and like just look a little bit more presentable. Doesn't hurt to look smart, does it? I know that I don't look smart, but so hopefully, yeah, gonna try and keep this up as well. Um, you should put the parade in your other channel. It is so good. Yeah, okay. Maybe I'll release it as a short video or something. Let's see. Take care, Headley. Good to be part of your first live stream. Thanks to a midnight snack I needed. Yeah, oh yeah, you're all the way down under. Yeah, of course you're a bogan, right? Well, yeah. Thank you so much for joining, mate. Let's see. Putin and Xi talking on the parade. Repeat organ transplant can live to 150, even to immortality. Yeah, I mean they're definitely discussing some nefarious things, right? They both have ambitions of conquest. One for Ukraine, the other for Taiwan, and they're probably comparing notes. Let's see. Do you know AI can induce psychosis in vulnerable people? It's possible, and also AI is getting much better now and more convincing, and it's actually quite scary. And I don't know where this is headed, but it's surely not a good thing. I do love AI though. I mean, I think it's very useful. Like sometimes I do go onto Chat GPT. I use that like, from the odd occasion. It's been very useful, but I don't like some of these videos that I'm seeing on YouTube that are almost hyper realistic. Before you could really tell, but now it's getting more and more difficult. It's actually kind of worrying. Okay, let's see. If I need social credit points, I have lots. Ah, dude, I don't want any of your social credit. Screw that. Let's see. You freaked me out with your last live stream when you said it was over. Glad the show will go on. Don't let anyone cancel you or this show. Oh, definitely not, mate. I just thought this was going to be the best for me. It's probably not the best in the short term, but I think in long term it will pay off because in short term I'm missing out on some revenue from YouTube from doing this channel, from doing the live streams here. If I kept it up on my free China channel, then I would have got the ad revenue and also like super chats, blah blah blah. But actually, none of that really matters because what I want to do is I want to do a good show for my subscribers. I don't want to put off other subscribers, and I know that on the free China channel, it's become a very Taiwan centric channel, and a lot of Taiwanese subscribers need the subtitles. And I can't do subtitles for like 1 hour, sometimes longer live stream. It's impossible. So the best fit is to do it here on this new channel. If anyone from the Taiwan channel wants to come on over and watch it, they're more than welcome to. But this is going to cater for an English speaking audience only. And that's the point that I really wanted to drill home to everybody is that this is only going to be in the English language. There's no subtitles or anything like that. It's kind of what I used to do on the Free China channel, and then I changed it. So yeah, this is kind of like the CCP Shieldbusters channel used to be. It's English only, and you never know. We might see some videos coming on here as well in the future. But for now, it's live streams only. Okay. What is this? Oh, AI and psychosis. Yeah, sorry, that's what you were talking about. Chatbots are very human-like responses and are one-sided with their user, which can lead to distorted thinking, especially if it's DeepSeek AI, right? I love that South Park soundbite. Yeah, here he is, the biggest douche of the universe. It's hilarious. Kim says, "Hello, Lewis. Thank you, Kim. Are you Kim from the protests? Possibly. I'd say your setup is pretty nice right now. Looks good enough for me, especially that Taiwan tiger flag. Hell yeah, here it is. We've got other Taiwan flags up here as well. Can you see them? There. And we've got a bunch of other stuff like this one. Some dude at the protest gave it to me. Go and follow, if you guys have Instagram, go and follow Hong Kongers in Leeds. These guys are super cool. And yeah, they gave me that sticker. So awesome. Okay. Why, thank you. Yeah, I'll try and release that as a short video. Okay. Do you see many Chinese EVs in UK? Yeah, dude. Ah, man, where was I? I was in London. Yeah, I was in London in a shopping center called Westfields, and there was a BYD shop in the actual shopping center. I was almost had a heart attack. I was like, no, it's going to explode. Why do you have this here? God, yeah, it's fucking shit. Excuse my French. Yay, yeah, the Taiwan Air Force patch. This one here, right? And this one here. So amazing. You're going to have huge viewers. I don't think so. I don't think so. But I think that if we could, the goal is like a couple of thousand views per stream. After 6 months of doing it, that's the goal. It might be a bit of a lofty goal, but I'm gonna try and get there. So we'll see. Cool, guys. Well, anyway, I am going to sign off now. We've been going for over an hour. We don't have an outro, so the stream will just end abruptly after I say goodbye. Of course, I'm not just gonna end it. But thank you so much for joining me for the first episode of Crossing China's Red Line, and hopefully we're gonna keep going. Well, we are going to keep going, but hopefully we're going to get more and more people coming into the chat and more people watching. And the episodes will always be interesting. I will make a point of trying my hardest to make sure that we have a really interesting stream here. I'm gonna really work hard on the edits and try and make it much better, so than what it was on Free China. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you all next week, 5 o'clock p.m. GMT, for another episode of Crossing China's Red Line. And today, I think we crossed China's red line pretty well. All right, guys, thank you so much, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.